What's up, y'all? In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 biggest mistakes people make when starting their personal brands, okay? And I'm not like the biggest personal brand in the world, still starting out, but I've been doing this for a year and I feel like I've learned a decent bit, okay? So if you want to take my advice, that's cool. I'm just sharing what I've learned in the past year to try to help someone else out there who's just starting out, all right? So most people overthink the personal brand, okay? And when I say that, what I mean is they're thinking about starting, and that's what they continue to do for a long, long time, all right? They just think like, okay, I'm going to do this, or I'm thinking about doing it, or I might do it, or I want to do it. And then like that continues where it's like, okay, one day I'll do this, one day I'll do this. But the thing is, days, weeks, and months go by, and all of a sudden those turn into years. When I've focused on X for a year, I grew my following from 30 something to 1,000 followers. It took me a little over a year, but like that's because I was consistent on there. I never grew on like hardly any platform until I started being consistent. I was trying to go all different platforms, all right? Maybe you've got like one foot in here, one foot out here, you're trying all these different avenues of things, but they're not working. Like you have to pick one thing and go in on that. And that's something I'm super guilty of. Like I'm doing X, but I'm also trying to use my YouTube as well and just like make both things work now. But I've been on X for a year now and I understand kind of like what to do on that. I'm starting to see success on there, so I know I need to focus on that, but I just really like making these YouTube videos. Like this doesn't really feel like work to me. It feels fun to just like talk to the camera. So that's why I think so many people want to do this, is like they see this as a fun thing that like has asymmetric upside. And if you're not sure what that means, it means like the downside risk is very low, but the upside potential is super high. Okay. It's like buying a meme coin. You put in $100 and you're like, all right, fine. Like if you lose it, whatever. But like if you somehow look up in a few years and it's worth like 1,000 or 2,000 or even more, then you're just like, all right, awesome. Like it's one of those things. So, but I would tell you that your potential to make money is probably much higher than a meme coin, because most of them aren't going to do anything. Like whatever, this isn't an investing channel anymore. That's what I actually first started out as, and like my videos were super boring, so no one watched them and I didn't know how to make thumbnails. But that brings me to my next point, is like everyone focuses so much on their niche, okay? And what you have to realize is more important about like your niche is volume, okay? So think about this, all right? You want to go play tennis and you want to learn how to play tennis, okay? So you go and you call a friend and you're like, hey, can you play tennis with me this weekend? But then that friend is busy. So then you ask them to go to the next weekend, okay? Well, something came up, we can't play anymore. All right, weather's bad, whatever. All of a sudden, like it's been 3 or 4 weeks now and you're still trying to play tennis for the first time, okay? Sound familiar? Sound like you and your personal brand? All right. What if you do this? What if you decide to play tennis by yourself? Oh, the other point I missed is like when you do finally go, you're like hitting the ball to each other, but you're both not good because you're trying to learn how to play tennis. So you spend 90% of your time chasing the ball around and going to pick it up because you're trying to hit like these serves and long shots and just hit it like you're a regular tennis player, but you haven't played before, okay? Think about this, all right? What if you go by yourself and you find a tennis court that has one of those wall things, all right? And you get 5 feet away from the wall and then you just start hitting it against the wall. Doom, 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 doom. You keep doing that and all of a sudden you've learned more about tennis in an hour than a month of you waiting on your friend to play with you, okay? So the thing that I'm trying to say on this point is that everything is volume, okay? And especially starting out, you have to push through the volume to figure out what you're doing, okay? So like all your first stuff, even this video, like I'm gonna cringe at this one day. And like you have to push through that. You have to push through the suck. Like part of the growth mindset is just being okay sucking for a while. There's a Chinese proverb, I think that Alex Hormozy quoted this, and he says, everything must be hard before it is easy. And that's just how life is. It's like, if you want to go learn the piano, this is like me talking to myself. I haven't tried to learn the piano in a long time. I've wanted to do it for like 20 years. My mom started teaching me and then I gave up because it was hard. And like now I'm 20 years later, I'm like, I would love to play the piano, but I still have to do this as like a project that I want to learn. And I have to go through that part where I just suck so bad at first. And then like all of a sudden I'm like, all right, now I figured out this one little pattern, one little chord, and I'm like learning this and I'm like, all right, that sounds good. And then like you just keep building. And then all of a sudden, like everything you're doing is like stacking one brick and then you stack another brick and you stack another brick. I think I'm laying these bricks wrong. Should be like that, but you know what I'm saying? So just start stacking bricks. Like you have to go through that first part of just being like trash at the thing that you're trying to do that's new. And like I say this as a person who only has 100 something subscribers, like I value all of you, but I'm still in the process of like learning my craft. But I just made videos and I reorganized my office today, and I watched this guy Edward Lee's channel and I was like, dude, this guy has it set up, you know? So I actually just reorganized my office today. I still have some stuff on the floor, by the way. But I'm like, dude, I want to shoot some YouTube videos now. Like it inspired me. And you have to go through that process of like failing and just going through the failure, and then like slowly you get better until like all of a sudden you're not that bad anymore. And if you go watch some of my like first videos, bruh, like it's rough. So I like to think these are a little bit better, but I know that I'm going to keep improving, and that's just the process. It's like, this is a lifelong process of improvement. So just keep improving. Just build that process into your personal brand, okay? Don't focus so much on your niche and be like, all right, what can I talk about that I really enjoy? Like, just make one video about something, see what happens. Then the next day, go make another video. Like, these don't have to be like these like I'm doing. I know these can be like daunting a little bit, but like, go make shorts. Like just make a short or a TikTok. And like, I know a guy who's 100K subscriber or 100K followers on TikTok, and all he did was just post 3 TikToks a day for like a year. And it's like, if you can do that, I don't know, maybe it was even 90 days, but like, if you can do like a system and just continue to do that, you're going to get traction. Like that is the problem. Most people are just sitting there on the sidelines thinking like, I don't know what to talk about, Lord. I'm trying to pick my niche. What if I pick the wrong niche? Like, I think I have to delete videos off my channel because I have crypto stuff, I have investing stuff, I have fitness stuff, and I have personal branding stuff. Like YouTube is like, I don't know who you are, bro. But that's just like the part of it is now I'm like starting to figure out the things that I want to talk about. And it's like business, fitness, and fashion. And I don't know if it's going to work like this. Let's find out. Like maybe I'll fail and then I can get better and figure out the thing that I want to talk about. But that's like the whole niche aspect is like, I'm not focusing on a niche because I'm focusing on an audience. And I just learned this yesterday after like 4 years is like, my audience is like dads who are like trying to learn about business and improve and grow personal brands, or like other businesses and just want to hear about businesses and stuff. Or we're talking about like how to be fit. I'm not the most fit person on earth. Like there's people I see every day that I'm like, that dude could have a better fitness channel than me. You know, I saw a guy yesterday running way more ripped than me. And then also like fashion's always been something I'm into. I worked at a clothing store for like 7 years and I learned a lot, but like I just did it because I liked fashion and I needed a job. So yeah, but after I left that job, I started my own sunglass company online and I've made like 70K in revenue over the last few years. So you have to go through that process of just doing like the things that are, it seems like it's going to take forever, but you just have to move forward a little bit more every single day. And eventually you'll find the thing that you want to do. Okay. So if you do need help with that, this is not my thing. This has actually helped me a lot. It's called Your Zone of Fire. There's a thing you can do called yourbigidea.io. And it's by this guy, John Lee Dumas. He has a podcast called Entrepreneurs on Fire. And actually really helped me because I didn't know what thing I wanted to do. I was like, I know I want to start like a side hustle, but I have no idea what to do. I have so many ideas, blah, blah, blah. Did this exercise because of his podcast, and within an hour I kept writing the same idea like over and over and over again. So like before it was even over, I was like, dude, I'm starting an online sunglass store because that is the idea that I keep having like every single time. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. And because I had that clarity, I actually started it, did it. And after like 3 or 4 months, made my first sale. And then now I've made like over 70K in revenue since then. Like it's not a ton of money, but it's definitely been nice. So you just have to go do it and then figure it out along the way. And that's all it is. It's just like you're telling your stories. People are going to start caring about you as a person. And then like once you see what content that you're talking about resonates with other people, that is the thing that you want to talk about. So like, don't worry about like picking a niche. Just start making videos, go through that process of making volume, and then your niche will figure itself out. Like I'm telling you, like I still don't really know my niche after a year or so. Like I'm just figuring it out. All I'm doing is seeing like what I can do that helps other people. And once I know that, like that's what you do. So just go do that. All right. All right. And then this is actually probably the most important thing. Resilience. Okay. Resilience is like the number one skill I think you can build for a personal brand. Okay. And I don't know if it was this video or another video I was talking about long-term mindset. Okay. There's going to be a lot of days where you think like, this isn't really working. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to work out. Okay. That's just part of it. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. So the reason you're feeling that way is because of suffering. Okay. And if you break it down, all suffering is an expectation that's not being met, okay? And that gap is your suffering, okay? And you're thinking like, hey, I put in all this work, my video or my content should be doing better, I should have more followers, you know, and I get that feeling like that. I felt that so many times because you think what you're doing should be producing this result and it's not, and you're not sure why and you're frustrated, okay? But you have to realize that it's usually just a skill issue or it's a volume issue, okay? And like usually the volume produces the skill. So you just have to keep going. Sometimes you think you're doing a lot, and I get that. Like I personally could do way more volume. There's people that go way faster than me. Like on X, I know that there's people that have gone from 0 to 1,000 in like 3 months because their content is better and they put in more volume than me, okay? And I've just put in what I could do and felt like a sustainable amount, okay? And so I've been frustrated a lot because I'm like, how come these people are going so much faster than me? And once I realized it was because they were putting in way more volume, I realized like, okay, like I can accept that. Like I'm going to put in what I can put in, and you're just competing against yourself, really. Like it's the hardest thing to do. I'm not perfect at this. Like it's so hard to not compare yourself. But if you can just build that resilience and realize like, hey, a personal brand is like something that I want to do for life. And it's just a process of like iteration, improving, and like self-improvement, taking how I see the world, building my philosophies, testing my ideas, putting them out in the world and seeing what happens. And like, you're going to change your life by doing this, like one way or another, because it's going to change the way you see the world. And you're also going to make tons of friends that you didn't even know were out there, okay? Like if you're always like, hey, I want to talk about these things, but no one seems to care about them, like you're going to find those people online. I'm telling you, like it'll happen. Like it's happened to me. So this process is just like a lifelong process of like self-improvement. My friend Tommy Christie on X says, I'm here to self-actualize. And like, that's what he's doing. He's just like talking about how he's becoming a better person, like by creating content, what he's learning, all the things he's doing in his life. And then he's making friends along the way. And like, he's got so much potential. I feel like, I think could be like the next Joe Rogan or something. Like he's just a cool dude, and he's going to like continue this process of improvement and like self-discovery. And I think he's already become a digital nomad through like a year of building this process on X. And like now I think he has a lot of potential to like continue this. And I see like him growing really. It's not even about followers, but I see like him just connecting with a lot of like really high status people. And I think he's going to do really well for himself. Like I believe in him. And that could be you too. You could be out there and you're like, hey, I'm still thinking about it. Like, I don't know if I should do this personal brand thing or not. You have all these questions that I've talked about before. But the thing is, like, you just have to start. You have to try, and you just continue to iterate. You continue to improve. And all of a sudden, like, you look up in a year or two and you're like, bro, like, I can't believe how much progress I've made. That's the compound effect. It's not, you can't just like, you don't just start working out and all of a sudden you're shredded. You don't start like saving and all of a sudden you have $1 million. Like, It's the process of small actions compounded over a long, long, long period of time. And the people that have done this for the longest period of time are the most successful because they have time in the market. Okay. Look at Warren Buffett. Look at Charlie Munger, who just passed away this past year. Like, they stuck with the same thing and did it and dedicated themselves for decades, okay? And most people are only willing to give it weeks or months before they give up, okay? And if you can become resilient and be like, this is my thing, like, I'm going to build a personal brand, and I get that I'm doing multiple things, like I still am, like I'm trying. But building a personal brand, if you can just stick with it and give yourself like a 2 to 5 year time horizon, I bet you'll be surprised at what you can accomplish. Don't focus on like achieving a certain result. Just focus on dedicating a certain amount of time to this and putting in a system of a sustainable amount that you can do so that like you don't burn out and you just keep doing this. And like the friendships and potential will keep you going because you're already going to see whether you're making money or not, like how it's going to change your life. And if you execute the right way and you don't overthink it and you just keep trying and keep failing. Every time you fail, it's like means because you tried something new beyond your current set of knowledge. And like, that's a good thing because that means you're exploring the unknown, you're trying and you're failing, and like you're getting better as a result of that. So that's really like the best way. It's like, just live life like that. Just go fail. Don't be afraid. And then like do that process for years and years. And then all of a sudden you can see that your life can be in a completely different place. So I hope this message was inspiring for you today. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. Anything you think I could improve with these videos. I genuinely appreciate any of you who watch this. And if you like have any further things to say, I genuinely appreciate that as well. So thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.